getting to see a lot of things that family caregivers are interested in, and we're getting to see them in big numbers. We had 10 million family caregivers visit caring.com last year, so roughly a quarter of the family caregivers that are online stop by caring.com at some point to help get information, make better decisions, save time, or connect with other caregivers. So we're getting to see a lot of interesting conversations, see what people are looking for, and I'm going to share some of that data here with you all. This is one of my favorite charts because it shows, relative to other markets that are pretty sexy and get a lot of attention, how big this family caregiving market is. So for those of you that can't read the numbers, there's about 2 million brides in the U.S. each year, 2 million weddings, about 4 million babies born in the U.S. Each year. And if you had a technology for babies room, it would probably have more people in it than this room because it's a pretty fun thing and sexy thing and a lot of technology around things for babies. But the family caregivers caring for someone over 50 is an order of magnitude larger market at about 43 million. So I think you all see this wave coming, but maybe everyone else in your organization doesn't. So anybody that wants to borrow this chart is welcome to. And so who cares? You know, there's a lot of them, but so what? So the so what is through our research on caring.com, we see that these people not only are large in numbers, they're large in purchasing power. They're making a lot of decisions with their care recipient, or often for their care recipient. If that care recipient has Alzheimer's or is somehow incapacitated, it's the family caregiver, it's that woman 45 to 60, who's making a lot of purchase decisions around medicines, food, durable equipment, as well as technology. So it's not only a large group, it's a very influential group on its own. And they're online. So the survey confirmed what we've been seeing at caring.com for the last few years, that they're on the web. They're also using all things on the web. 53% of our registered users use Facebook. And just in terms of traffic, it's exploding. In terms of family caregivers on the web, in December we had 1.3 million visit caring.com, and that chart is the growth rate of people visiting our site, and so it's probably parallel to the growth rate of family caregivers on the web. But we're just seeing tons of interest from family caregivers on the web. And I'll just close quickly on one thing that you don't always hear about at technology conferences, but I'll remind you all not to forget, and that is a key feature that might be hard to design is emotional support, and that's a key need of a lot of family caregivers because they're going through such a hard thing emotionally. They're often caring for someone on top of caring for their own kids. They've got their own job, and so one of the biggest benefits I think they may get from any service is some emotional support. And we see it on our Facebook page and our communities that often what all folks want to do is just share what a hard time they're having, get a hug or a prayer, which you can send to someone on caring.com, and that's a lot of what can help the most, both in helping people feel better and also in adoption of some of your technologies. So thanks, and I will, hopefully we got a couple minutes for questions here.
Before I open this up, thank you, Andy. Before I open this up for questions, first I want to thank Susan for pulling together the Silver Summit. This part has been fun, but I also want to thank all of our experts. It's one thing to have people volunteer their time. It's another thing when you can bring to the table the leaders, not just experts, but the leaders in this area. Maybe let's start off with a couple of questions. You see out there?
That's a very tough one, particularly when we're seeing so much success in both areas. I think that what we heard earlier today in terms of the effort for broadband to go national with the federal government and the way telehealth is working there, there's just no question that particularly for remote areas and being able to use that, it'll be significant. But I'll sit on the fence on this one because I'll also say the M-Health space is growing at such a rapid deployment. The advances, reductions in costs, the advances in how it's being used internationally, the fact that countries have skipped over hardwire programs and have gone strictly to into this space, and that they're working at it at the national, federal levels in each of these cases. I think both need to be looked at very seriously. If you can cover both areas, all the better, but I'd be very interested to hear responses from people who are working right in the field on that as well.
Lori, do you have a comment for this? Other questions? Yes, please.
Appreciate that. I was going to mention that, tried to get through quickly. They're going to be announced by the federal government this coming month, but I'll just tell you right now, they're Washington, the state of Washington, the state of Texas. Washington is expanding just in the Seattle area. Texas is trying to do statewide. California, which is doing it in the San Diego area at this point. Indiana, which is the site that's working with the Veterans Administration using Steve Council's GRACE model of care transition work. And then which one did I leave out? Rhode Island. Rhode Island is the one using the university with their e-medical card program. So those 5, of which there were originally 16 states who are working in the care transition work, and nearly all states that are building out these aging and disability resource centers. You can find more information not only on our website, which we skipped a little bit there at the end, but also on the U.S. Government Administration on Aging, AOA website, which will explain it more to you.
We have time for one last question. Yes, please.
I have sort of a question that bothers me about a lot of this. There's no talk of any complementary medicine, any alternative, vitamins, supplements in dealing with some of these chronic conditions. Why not? How does the caregiver find some alternative sources to try to help?
I just want to throw in the fact that that's a $34 billion market,
Yes.
all private pay. And where there's a will, it seems to me that people are able to find what they need in that space.
I'll take that one right on. It's a very important and many times forgotten area. For 2 reasons it's important. Number one, one of the things that we know, for instance, that chiropractic care is responsible for about 1/3 of all successful outcomes when you're dealing with someone with an acute back injury. It's that important. The second thing is a safety issue. Even complementary, and I like the word complementary because it's not an alternative form of medicine, it's something that should be grown together. Complementary medicine are things that can influence the way in which other things interact. And so there's also safety issues involved in making sure that you have reliable content to show you potential drug interactions, even when the drugs may not be traditional medicine, may be complementary form. But that's an excellent question. Thank you. Listen, I want to close off the event this morning by thanking everyone for their participation. Clearly, technology for seniors' health isn't a luxury, it's an imperative. And when we do it right, the opportunities to expand capabilities, to have better outcomes clinically and economically, and to have a more comfortable and healthy life experience and a more independent experience can be enjoyed. Thank you all. And remember to pick up your connection.